Since the partial shutdown began, Customs and Border Protection agents and officers considered essential have remained on the job without pay. Some federal agencies are functioning with pay, others are not, such as the Department of Homeland Security. To get a better sense of how far-reaching the repercussions have been thus far, we turn to Brent Millward, head of the School of Government and Public Policy at the University of Arizona. A year ago, you were here, as you reminded me. We're talking about the same issue, a shutdown. This one's longer, though. How is this one impacting Arizona this time around?
Well, in terms of how it's impacting Arizona most directly, 10,000 federal employees in Arizona out of about 30,000 are affected either by not getting their paycheck or being furloughed because they're non-essential employees. That's out of 800,000 nationally, which is not huge, but you have to remember all the people who depend on the federal government. There are people in private industry, there are people in nonprofits all over the United States whose paychecks actually come from the federal government because they do the federal government's work. In mental health, in healthcare, and many other areas, this is the way we deliver services, not just directly by federal employees.
There's been some confusion. Some people are getting paid, others are not. Can you break it down for who's getting paid right now, who's working, not getting paid, and who will get a big check once this is all said and done?
Well, that's a little hard to figure out. I mean, you have, I believe, about 5 of 12 spending bills that were passed before the shutdown. Everybody in those agencies is being paid. The agencies that are closed down, the Internal Revenue Service, NASA, National Science Foundation, Department of Labor, Housing and Urban Development, Commerce, Education, Energy, EPA, and the Federal Drug Administration. Those are shut down. There are essential people working there. I always thought if I worked for the federal government, wouldn't it be terrible to be called a non-essential employee? So there are essential employees, including Secret Service, who are working without pay. TSA employees at the airports are working without pay. One of the things that may happen is these people may start to call in sick. There's some indication that the TSA people are doing this. If that starts to happen, and you start seeing huge lines develop at airports, there's going to be pressure to settle this.
The airport example, what if people are becoming less inclined to do their job well at the airport? Do we run the risk of harming national security?
Boy, that is a terrific question, Lorraine. You know, if you are worried because you can't make your mortgage payment, because you can't pay school fees for your kids, those are the kinds of things that sort of make it difficult to focus on work. And if people work because they are forced to by law, but aren't getting paid for it, the quality of work may suffer.
Does the government have some sort of problem it faces when it suddenly has to shell out all of these checks, all this money?
What has happened in other shutdowns is Congress will pass back pay for the people who were perhaps non-essential and did not get paid during that period. But there's not only the work of getting the government back up running, but also all the backlog of stuff that has to be done, plus all the new stuff that has to be done as well.
How does this end? I mean, you've studied politics and government for a long time. At some point, somebody's got to give in to something.
If both sides are being blamed, both sides have an incentive to keep it going in the hope that blame will be shifted somewhere else. Much of what government does is about blame avoidance. And in a democratic system, that affects who you vote for in the next election. So if one side looks like it's losing, they may be more willing to compromise than not.
Is it possible to end amicably where people are saying, okay, we can do this, we can put that aside just to get an issue taken care of?
I would hope so. I mean, you continue to hope that, you know, calmer heads will prevail, that people will ignore, you know, the sort of the crazies on the left and the right, and try to figure out a way to end this with some degree of amicability. But I'm not holding my breath.